Good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are. How are you doing? Thanks a lot for joining us. We're in the studio live. It's me and Harry. I've got two cameras, I've got two mics. Everything's working. And everything's all set up. Harry, good to see you, my man, in the flesh. How's it going?
Good, mate. It's crazy. We're literally talking to each other last night.
I know.
Over the internet.
I know.
And now we're doing the same thing. You're also right in front of me, which is weird. It's really, really weird. But
It is.
fun.
Right, look, you watching this? You ready?
Go for it.
Right, you watching this? People at home, you watching this? Hey! It worked! It worked! So, if you're joining us live, thanks very much. Fist bumps to all of you. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share, and retweet, and all that good stuff. But me and Harry are getting ready for Celtic versus Leipzig tonight. We're going Champions League hospitality, number 7 suite, all the good stuff for tonight. After this, we'll be going back to Quinn headquarters, and we'll be getting shirts and ties on and all that good stuff, and then making our way via some establishments. We'll definitely get some liquids along the way, and we'll make our way towards the game. So we just want to set all this up, have a wee kind of pre-stream, talk about going to the game tonight, and any teams we've got kind of running around. If you do join this live, please make it known. You'll get your first bump on arrival. And if you are watching this after we've been live, I want to know what you think the wild card player in the Celtic team is going to be tonight, because that's the kind of hot topic that I'm seeing going across Celtic fan media over the last day or so. Some people are picking Abelgard, some people are picking I'm picking Dyson. He's my wild card that I think comes in with Moy. Some people are picking McCarthy. I've seen all sorts of stuff. Abada, Giacomakis, Kyogo. And in the end as well, Harry, I was telling you this, I picked Harry up this morning, and I was telling you, I reverted this morning. I went and I put Jota back in my best team. I just thought maybe this is all subterfuge, and maybe this is all Ange playing funny buggers before the match. And I can't not have Captain Jota till I die in the best team. So I'm really nervous now.
Yeah, those Ange comments. What was the exact quote? It was a bit of muscle fatigue, but basically he's just too good looking.
Yeah.
Something along the lines of that, right? So, yeah, I don't know. It seems a bit tongue in cheek, and I just think, yeah, you've done the right thing putting him in, because I think you would massively regret it if he, if he was playing and you didn't play him. I think you would kick yourself big time, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, it's a risk, but I think it's a risk worth willing to take. You know, I don't know what the chat thinks, but yeah, I do think you've done the right thing for sure.
I hope so, man. I hope so. So in the game week itself, running around outside of Celtic, I don't have much else going on, truth be told. That kind of makes and breaks all of my squad. So as we're coming in, I don't actually really, I was thinking, before we're coming on the stream, we're thinking, right, what other games are on tonight that we're involved in? Because when you get to Celtic Park, you don't get a signal. And if you've got other games going on, it's a late kickoff. So we'll maybe have some early kickoff action. Let's see what's going on in the lead up to the match. We've got Juventus away in Israel at 5:45. So I've got a Kostic. Dundee United, good luck Tony and the boys tonight. They're at home to Hibs, same time as Celtic basically. AC Milan at home at Chelsea, PSG at home at Benfica, and Shakhtar at home at Real Madrid. All kick off about the same time as Celtic. So everything is quite late this evening. It's going to be a late night game week, night. So yeah, it's just really looking at those fixtures. It is just Celtic for me. The rest of the ones I couldn't really. I don't have big teams going into them or whatever. What about you, Harry? Do you have any big games? I know you don't have any Celtic cards running tonight.
No, I don't, unfortunately. We did have a discussion yesterday, didn't we, about, should I make the purchase or not? But yeah, it just didn't really make too much sense. If I was running some sort of limited lineup and I had a few pieces anyway, I think it would have made more sense. But yeah, for where I'm at right now, I don't know. It probably, even though it's going to be an amazing night and stuff, I'm not sure it was worth just buying a random card for the sake of it. And then, I don't know, well, in terms of its value and stuff, it doesn't really matter. It's just it's an experience thing. But yeah, missed out on that. But yeah, in terms of players playing tonight, I've got two technically, two spread across two different lineups. I've got Florentino Luis and Enzo Fernandez. Away to PSG, massive game for Benfica. Roger Schmidt has seemed quite confident, I guess, in what he said in his press conference. He really seems to think that they can nullify, what PSG bring to the table, attacking wise, which is a big statement. I know they just drew 1-1, so they've got merit in saying so. It's not as if they got battered 5-0 and they're saying that. You know, I know they're going into the sort of into their den, if that makes sense, PSG's. But no, I think it could be a good game for them. They'll obviously have to do a lot of running. They're going to have to cover a lot of ground, my boys, because, they're going to have Mbappe, Messi, Neymar, Verratti, Vitinha, I imagine, all floating around that midfield sort of section. And, could it be too much for two of them to sort of handle? Maybe. But I'm hoping that, their Sorare scores can obviously reflect a positive result for me, for sure.
Let's hope so, man. Champions League's where all the magic happens, so if the manager was giving it those kind of big licks before the match, then fair play to him, because, again, Celtic tonight, we're going into our round 2, everyone does. We said that last night. We didn't really preview the fixtures because it is mirror image, it's home and away ties, reversed and whatever. So that kind of round 2, it feels like it's going to be a real vibe across these games tonight. And for Celtic coming into Leipzig, in the first half of last week, this again, we could have scored 3 or 4 goals with the opportunities that were made and shots that were taken. And I don't think we were too far away from getting a much better result there than what we actually ended up with. But I don't know. I think the manager is really quite keen on keeping a relatively consistent best team. So I think if the Jota thing is a bit of subterfuge and he does come in, he might even just play the same team that played the week before, kind of idea. But so there's a lot of kind of funny angles going on in that sense. But definitely with Celtic, as we go into the Champions League tonight, there's many more questions around the starting 11. Even the centre-backs, people are talking about, will it be Jens or Welch? I think it will be Jens, personally. He was in training, he's back from his cold or whatever it was that had him going. But it's where the magic happens, and magic should be partly the theme of that night as well. If Benfica could do some sort of double header over PSG, maybe double draw with them or something, that'd be some result for them, And I think if at the beginning of the group, if you said to Celtic fans, you'd finish even with Leipzig over 2 games, regardless of how you want to take that, 2 draws or a win and a loss, most people would probably accept that, and then chance your luck with the Shakhtar and the Real Madrid games.
Yeah.
So, if we win tonight, I think that's a good result as well, based on, obviously, the weekend being a bit of a struggle for different reasons in a different scenario, and the result we got with them last week. But I think we've got the Arsenal, we've got the firepower, because one thing it didn't really play into the game as strongly as I thought it would last week was the bench. And with Giakoumakis getting his goal at the weekend, if he doesn't start, which I don't think he will, he should then come onto the pitch with a bit more vigour, having just got a goal, the game-winning goal at the weekend, GWG at the weekend. And then there's a few other bits and pieces going around. So with the stadium and with the atmosphere and everything, so I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a magic night. I think maybe Benfica shock the world a wee bit. And maybe what would Celtic shock in the world look like tonight? 4-0 or something? What would a shock the world result be?
Yeah, I think anything to 0, I think, would be it'd have to be a shock for me to say that Leipzig don't score. Obviously, I hope they don't, for your sake and for my sake, I guess, for my first Celtic
for your safety?
Yeah, for my own personal safety. I think anything to 0 would be a great result in terms of winning the game. I don't think 0-0's a shock.
Yeah.
It'd be good-ish, but if you're beating them 1-2-0, Jesus, you'd have to sort of take your hat off to that. I think big time. It'd be a great result for Celtic.
Jay Coyle agrees. Joe Hart keeping a clean sheet will be our shocker. UCL Magic, Kyogo goal tonight, and I feel it. Who's winning the Champions League this year? Well, if Celtic out the group stages, man, I wouldn't rule us out. The Haaland show in the early kickoff. Also, we've got Borussia Dortmund. Who did they have? Sevilla.
Sevilla, yeah.
That'll be in the early kickoff along with Juventus Maccabi. So 2 games are normally the early kickoff. I'm guessing that's all there is. There might be a third, but I doubt it. Evening, lads. Enjoy the game tonight. Mo Dave, fist bump to you. John Puska, morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good to see you, my man. Proper Glasgow weather. Jay Coyle saying as well. And howdy from Robert Turner, fist bump. Good to see you also. So I don't think I don't know. I did a predicted 11 going into the game tonight, and I thought it would be Hart, Juranovic, Taylor, Jens, Carter-Vickers. I don't think there's any change there, but I went for a midfield 3 of Moy, Rio, and O'Reilly. And of course, I'm a bit biased because I've got the rare Moy that I believe will play, but I'm biased because it's built into the same logic. And I don't know, man. There's a lot of accounts going around talking about it might be Abelgard or McCarthy. No one's talking about Moy. So I don't know if that's a surprise in the lineup if Moy starts, how people feel about that or whatever. I think he does if that's the way the manager opts to go, rather than keeping a similar shape to the weekend and going a bit more attack heavy rather than having a sitting midfielder of any description. But yeah, it seems to be Haksabanovic is unquestionably going to start, and everyone else is quite happy with Rio and O'Reilly and Kyogo for the most part. So it's Abada or Maeda on the right, really. And then where does Haksabanovic play? Is he midfielder? Is he left wing? If he's left wing, that means there's no Jota. Or if Jota does play, does Haksabanovic maybe play right wing? And then we play a Moy or an Abelgard or somebody, so... Yeah, a lot of question marks going on. That's what I said at the top of the stream. If you have any opinions on any of the shock things we might get in the starting 11 for Celtic tonight, let it be known in the comment section of the video. Me and Harry are getting ready for the Champions League fixture, Celtic versus Leipzig at Celtic Park. Hospitality, number 7 restaurant, the works. So we'll be going there tonight. Camera will be in hand, and we'll be having a great time there. And we set the studio up. Harry helped me hang some nice art in the place as well to make sure that we're all evenly spaced out and straight and everything. So any complaints, direct them to Harry. And we got everything set up, and we thought we'd just do a little kind of preview, get into the game, and just kind of stream in general for where we're at. Any guys who are watching this, what are you watching tonight? Will you be tuning in to try and catch me and Harry on screen behind the goals at Celtic versus Leipzig, or are you going to tune into one of the other big matches? I think it's the return of Inter and Barca as well. PSG Benfica, as you said, is that maybe tomorrow? I don't think that's tonight, or maybe it is. No, PSG is tonight.
Yeah, PSG tonight, and then the other one is tomorrow. And the
other one's tomorrow. So let us know if you're going to watch Leipzig and Celtic. Let me know what game you're tuning into in particular. Look at the lads, says Sorare Oderin. Sorare Oderin probably missed this trick, Harry, so we'll do it again, right? You ready? You watching this, Sorare Oderin? It's magic! But yeah, that's basically where we're at. And I'm trying to think if anything else kind of shocking happened overnight. I bottled it, like I mentioned earlier, Harry, and I went and put Jota back into my best team. I thought I can't not have him in just in case.
Yeah.
But something else was knocking around the back of my head there. Like, I don't think I've bought or sold anything, but something like that.
I mean, you said you made a few adjustments to your teams. I know that was sort of Jota based, but was there anything else that really had a knock-on effect, or was it basically just Jota for whoever was in for Jota's place?
Yeah, basically. It was just that whole ladder, kind of moving him around, and the repercussions of that was basic. Yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah.
The community team, right? So the community team was quite undecided. It was quite split. So we ended up with Joe Hart in goals, Philip Max captain in defence, and then we went with Rio, Abada, and Maeda. So that's the foundation team is kind of a hedge against there being no Jota, because if there's no Jota, one of them 1,000,000% starts. Maybe both of them start.
Yeah.
So if Jota doesn't play, so maybe the foundation teams get a bit better of a shout for it going in.
I like it. I was just looking at here. Apparently,
Connor R picked up the super rare hacksaw. No way, Connor R. Tell me how much you paid. Tell me what you... Actually, I can just go find out, but tell me... Me and Harry were talking about that. I tried to get the guy. I tried to get the card. So interested to see what you paid for hacksaw. The Haksabanovic super rare, there's only one of them. He doesn't have a Celtic picture.
Oh, he bought the super.
And yeah, let's see. It's
Connor.
Let's look at cards. I'll be able to pull this up on screen. Sorry, I've not set up an added page with me and Harry here, but I'll just throw it in now so that we can all have a look at Connor R's amazing deal. Hacksaw Masterclass tonight was what we're after. Add that in.
Tony Watt not in the foundation team. He is going to score. It's a big statement. To be fair, the boy's on fire, so can't bet against it right now, to be fair, isn't it? Is he 2-2?
Yeah, 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, should have got Tony in, but everyone was picking Celtic players,
True.
And yeah, we just want the super rare. There it is. So the only one traded to Connor R. Want to buy galleries. I'll trade you it for. Let's see what you paid first of all. What you done? A good deal. Trade. Ooh, what did you give him?
Ooh, I see a Noah Lang in there.
Valuation that day 4.4. E4's now 3.2. When did you get this? Averages now 4.4. That's weird. Averages and fours.
Isn't that the card to he?
So wow, that's not actually that bad. Nagao Besujian, who plays for Aberdeen.
Okay.
Noah Lang, rare.
Yeah.
And Son Jun Ho, rare.
Okay.
That's not that bad a deal, man. It's like 4.4 ETH. The guy told me he wanted like 3. So if you've had trade value at like a third over basically, and maybe there's super rares. I don't know.
Yeah.
Looks like a good deal, buddy. Unfortunately, that will still remain to be too rich for my blood, and I won't be, unfortunately, able to prize this from your hands. But I look forward, Connor, to you telling me everything you got up to with that card, all the stuff you win in U23. Please just keep it in U23. It's a fantastic U23 mid.
Keep it out. I don't want it. I don't want him anywhere near under 23s. Please, Con.
U23 Pro Hacksaw Super Rare. It's basically unique. Connor, you'd be mental not to do it. And the Hacksaw Masterclass tonight as well. The boy got a fresh fade last night. He'll be on it. Jake Hoyle, are you a barber? Did you cut his hair maybe, or you just seen pictures of him and you recommend the fade he's picked up? I'm a bit gutted Tony never made it into the foundation team, but like I say, everybody was just picking Celtic players. There was just no other way around it.
Yeah.
But I agree, pick up on the Hacksaw. I wouldn't mind getting a rare, because I kind of need a rare mid, but again, such a shallow supply. But again, like I mentioned in the stream last night, Harry, when we get there, some guy's going to come up and talk to us and say, oh, you're from Sorare. And then I'm going to say, get some pictures of Haksabanovic. Get them emailed over first thing in the morning, because we want those cards. Sorry, Connor. But yeah, that's kind of where the live stream's at. There's about 30 of you here, guys. We're going to hang about live for another 10-15 minutes or so. So anything you want to throw out there, get it known. When Baron is back fit, might use Hacksaw and SR Baron together.
Baron for the win, baby.
That's a SR play for sure. SR U23 All-Star Pro. That's what that sounds like. Get a couple of rares around that. Play that in D3 and go and disrupt some people. That's not a competition I'm in, so that sounds great.
I've been waiting to use my Baron for months. Let me see when I actually bought him. I bought the super rare. I think it was on the off season actually, like when the Scottish it's only 3 months ago, to be fair. It feels like an absolute age. But yeah, bought him in anticipation of the new season starting, and it's taken to the 8th of October for him to actually get point. Well, no, he was injured, to be fair. Yeah, he was injured for a while, and he got 35 on the weekend. I think that was like a 10 AA off the bench.
Not bad.
Yeah, I don't know. He played 45 minutes, so, and obviously half a game, which is not bad at all. Obviously they lost 4-0, to be fair. So, and he conceded 2 goals in that time. But yeah, just happy to get
him on the board.
The Scottish boy, into the gallery, to be fair.
Aye. There's a few Scottish players going around now that are pretty decent. Like, the boy Doig at Verona has been scoring goals from left back. And then Baron, if he comes back into a game, he was highly hyped in the pre-season. It's like, because he was linked to Celtic to be a backup player, and he stayed at Aberdeen.
Okay.
So just like, if he's going to stay at Aberdeen, and Celtic want him,
Well, he's got years left of U23, and I actually remember when I targeted the auction ages ago, and then I remember Stish came in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was before me and I even really knew Stish, to be fair. Even though, like I said, it was only 3 months ago, but yeah, like I just saw his name pop up and I was like, oh, well, if Stish is bidding, then I know there's something going on here. Yeah. Because I knew he'd obviously bought the Dylan Levitt unique. So I knew he had a footprint in the Scottish under 23 market. And maybe I paid over. What did I actually pay for him? I think it was like 0.9, which was £800 at the time.
Not so bad.
So that was when
U23 hype as well.
Yeah, U23 hype. He'd had like a good end to the season, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And, it just kind of made sense at the time. And I guess, hopefully it makes more sense in time as well if he's back in that Aberdeen team.
Well, I've got a Ross McCrory super rare, who's his centre midfielder partner. So I'm hoping the return of Baron means an upturn in his form, and then I can sell him. Because I don't need him anymore. Now I've got Tony Watt and a few other pieces that are in Scotland. The Craig Gordon super rare, obviously. I picked that up the other day.
Charlie Mulgrew.
And the Mulgrew unique and whatever, yeah. So fun and party times. Connor, Baron is back. Just have a clown in charge, so might be played out of position. Says Skoskur, and Skoskur knows his Aberdeen. Sayat Haksabanovic goes to the Midas Cut Barbers in Kirkintilloch, which is near me. It's actually not too far from me, Jay Coyle. I actually worked in Kirkintilloch for about 3 or 4 years prior to the Sorare TV studios here. And you've seen Haksabanovic there on an Instagram story. That's cool. Good intel. Love it. I hate waiting on rewards. Just want to know who it is. Joe Ducey. I know you did pretty well when it was all said and done this game week. So yeah, you've got the ants in your pants, but me and Harry don't care about rewards. What do you make of Ryan Porteous? Scores lately. He's absolutely kicking off. Porteous is one of the cards that I would have bought the same way that I bought like McCrory and like Harks and these other pieces. If he got one, because I've seen him play. He played Celtic, and I've seen him play Celtic and Rangers, I think, in different games, and he's always like, for a young guy, and I said this before, but the Sevilla right back, Carmona, he puts himself about. He's no shy, and like in Scotland, like that can get you a lot of negative press. People think you're a bam, think you're a Ned, you know, and you're just trying to act tough on the football pitch or whatever. And some people will just kind of give you a negative reputation for that. But I don't know. I kind of liked that kind of part about him. And I thought if he went to a higher level, like I wouldn't imagine he's the kind of guy that would like shrink in a situation like personality-wise. Send down to talent, of course. But everyone tells me how shite he is and how much they hate him. So I've just never stayed away from him. He's got cards now, and his scores are popping. You know. So what do you think about Porteous?
Honestly, I've
never looked at him.
No, I've not, to be fair.
Fair enough.
Let me have a look now.
He's a really divisive character in Scottish football. He plays for Hibs. He's recently got his first Scotland cap as well, and people are like, how can Porteous get capped? And it's like, he is good, man, kinda. Like
I've seen, oh wow, yeah, his scores are ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like a rugby player, mate.
Well, that's actually funny. He came up on my Twitter about a week ago. He was interviewed talking about Haaland. Have you seen that interview?
No.
So he played for Scotland under 19s against Norway 19s. And Haaland was playing, and he basically told a story of like they were like Scotland were winning like 4-3 or something, like it was pretty tight, but high scoring, and like the manager or the assistant basically said to Ryan, like, look, they got this guy up front, like there's a bit of hype about him, but he's rubbish, like you can bully him, like you're bigger than him basically, and Ryan thought, yeah, no, I fancy myself, sort of thing, like you said, big guy, and I think he scored a hat-trick after that. I think they won something like 6-4, something stupid like that, basically.
So he came off the bench, Haaland, and game changed it?
I don't know. I think it might have been like a half-time situation. Yeah, he was basically quiet for the majority of the game, which sounds about right, doesn't it? Like, nothing seems to have changed.
True.
You know, plays in moments and stuff, and is key in them. But yeah, that's weird how you've just mentioned him, and I actually do recognise him from that interview. But I'm just trying to think back to when I did my Scottish sort of, or my SPFL, like under 23 video back in.
He didn't have cards, so you wouldn't even clocked him.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember him being there. To be fair, at all.
He's only just got them.
Got you.
This is part of the problem from last year. Like Craig Gordon never had the card for no reason, but you've got the whole Hearts team except the goalkeeper. Yeah.
Very weird.
Let's see what else there is to catch up on from here. McCrory's bad scores because he's getting used as a CB. Yeah, it's kind of happened on and off. If Celtic lose, we were blaming Harry, confirmed. He's a quality player, but always prone to a bad mistake. I wanted him for ages in SPFL, and he wasn't added. I was talking about Porteous, I think we are. Celtic win today for me? Yes, said Sahon. Fist bump, thanks for joining us, my man. Porteous is normally a liability. If you were getting a card, wait a few weeks until he gets his red cards and his price will drop. Yeah, so like people always tell me how much they hate him and how negative things about him. But his SO5s recently have been...
He's got to be doing something right, haven't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He's winning duels. Yeah. He's passing the ball. He's winning tackles. He's intercepting. He's getting in amongst a dog eating beetroot.
Yeah. You don't get back-to-back hundreds, do you really, on Sorare without being somewhat of a decent player? I know it could, it's a small sample size, of course, but just to even get 100, you have to be half decent.
Agreed. And on that note, when we go into the actual match for tonight, so I'm just aware that this is primarily a Celtic foreground before we go into the Leipzig game. Maybe a lot of Celtic fans don't like Porteous, I don't know. But going into the game tonight, talking about scores and doing well and all that good stuff. Tonight, I don't know what team we expect to see. What Celtic we expect to see compared to the team that played Leipzig last time, right? We got a stinker from Joe Hart, Erled to goal, 5 decisive, all round of 11, ends up with 16 points, stinker. Back four, didn't do that great, but I actually thought Jens wasn't too bad. Welsh on a 41 for conceding 3 goals, Harry, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. So
for anyone that doesn't understand, conceding 3 goals means you lose 12, which is huge. Right? 12 points are not easy to get. He's picked up 14 through his possession stats, 17 long passes into the opposition, which were scored well, which is nice. Attacking output, nothing. So we only made 1 foul in the whole game as well, which I think is to be commended for a young centre-back. So yeah, everyone did kind of okay, but no one stood out. We didn't get any sixes or anything. We lost McGregor in midfield. O'Reilly with his booking. O'Reilly's stats were not great in this game last time, barely impacted anything. Rio Bot did get in amongst it at times and had a bit more of a match. Didn't win any tackles. Got 2 interceptions. Didn't win any duels to the positive. So, a couple of passes went his way and whatever. But we got some penalty area entries. We got some attempted assists. He did some stuff, but the goals conceded took away 6 from him because he's a midfielder.
Yep.
In this picture anyway, there was only a few midfielder cards, right enough. But and then also Jota, the main man. And again, I love forwards like Jota. They complete so many. Where's the duels here? Oh, they've broke even on this, but generally they'll win a lot. They'll win more duels than they'll lose because they're quick and they can dribble, and they'll activate positive duel wins by that method rather than a shoulder-to-shoulder situation.
Yeah.
And if you've got guys that can beat 2 guys on a dribble, you can get, and then a cross that gets met with a header. That's like 2 duels, 1 attempted assist, and even if you finish the 2 duels before you cross the ball, if you make it into the box,
penalty area, yeah.
So guys like Jota just stack up points like mad, and then even attempted assists, big chance created, all this stuff kind of racks up. 17 attacking points, and if you looked at the game last week, outside of his goal, you probably wouldn't have seen too much of that from him. But in terms of the Sorare and how it works out, 3 shots on target. I think maybe 1 or 2 of them's a bit generous, speculative shots from range and whatever. But good score from him. The bench didn't impact the match much at all, it must be said. But tonight, I think this is going to be Green City. This has got to be what we've seen peak Bayern, peak Ajax, peak PSG kind of scores do if we're going to beat Leipzig tonight. We're going to need, forwards bagging 80s, midfielders rocking by 60 for fun.
Yep.
And then power fullbacks, power centre-backs.
Clean sheet.
Maybe not the clean sheet, but if we can boss, tackling and intercepting, win aerial duels and all that good stuff, I think the 8-8 is there for us to get, for the boys in green to come out with a victory. There's a bunch of yous here, guys. We do need to cut we do need to cut and go because we need to go and get ready. We need to get the shirts and ties on. We need to get ready for the game tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing something tomorrow. Harry will still be in Glasgow. We'll still be doing stuff. There'll also be a video following the game tonight. We'll do a reaction. There'll be a video from the match. And yeah, there's plenty of stuff happening here, there and everywhere. Don't forget to check out Harry's channel at Harry Trades on YouTube and any social media. If there's a social media and you search Harry Trades, you'll probably see this man. And hail, Monday Hoops tonight. My score prediction, we'll finish on that. My score prediction, I'm going to say a reverse. 3-1 Celtic from last week. 3-1 to Celtic, rather, this week. What are you going with, Harry?
No, I like it. Bit more conservative from me. I'm going to go 2-1 Celtic.
2-1.
Yeah, a little bit tighter.
But I'll win all the same. We'll take that for sure. Thanks a lot to everyone. If you've watched this after we've been live, thank you very much. Enjoy the game tonight. Hail, and we'll catch you later.